Hey everyone, hi Team Happy and Fit. Happy Tuesday. If you are a new coach, I am so excited you're on this call. I think that it is vital to get on these calls. This is what I did when I first started almost 4 years ago. I just jumped on any Zoom that I could because one, this community is amazing, but two, it takes the guessing out of how to create a business. This is a business. And what's cool about this business, it requires you to become a better person. Like, it's wild. You become a better person and you learn how to do you, work on you, then you learn how to effectively share that. You're not sharing Beachbody. You're not like Shakeology in one glass. You're not sharing Beachbody. You're sharing you, your story, how that you're gaining energy, you're sleeping better, you're feeling more confident, you're overcoming fears, like you're connected with a community, like you're sharing your journey and story. And what's going to happen, this is happening to Rachel, who's on this call. She's like, people are bombarding me in my messages because they're so inspired because she's sharing her journey. She's walking the walk and she's sharing it, which is a blessing and a gift to other people, because when you share, it's not being selfish, it's empowering. It's saying, hey, if I can do this, you can do this too. So then you literally can give yourself a raise. I was talking to a friend today. She gave herself a $14,000 raise last year in Beachbody. $14,000. Like, that is amazing. Who does that? Anyone who works hard. Like, you can do that. I guarantee this year she'll give herself double that, 28,000. I guarantee it. She'll give herself that much of a raise. And she's amazing. So just so you know, the potential in here is crazy, all because you work on yourself, which is amazing. Two things before Lauren gets us started. Two things. What I noticed in consistency of building a business is you must work on yourself and get results. You can't play this game of balance if you're not getting results. You cannot play this game of 80-20 if you're not getting results. You're leaning too much on your old habits and your old thinking to justify why you can treat yourself and then be a little bit healthy. If you want a successful business, you have to get results. And I'm not just talking physically. You have to invest in your mindset. You have to invest in surrounding yourself with a positive community. Does that make sense? You focus on transforming you. That is going to build your entire business, and you have to be consistent with it. But everything that I've seen, any successful coach, including myself, I've built a very successful business. And I'm like, it's because I worked on myself and I've shared that. So that's one. Number two is this. Get out of your head. Lizzie Turner's on here. I freaking love her. And we were on a call yesterday and she's like, I hope you don't mind that I'm sharing this. I just was so empowered by what you said. I thought it was golden how you're just like, how do I I forget how you worded it, dang it. But basically, like, how do I get back in? Like, if I've fallen off a little bit, like, how do I get back in? And I said, you got to stop limiting yourself with thinking that you are someone who always is stop, start, stop, start, stop. Like, you have to eliminate that thinking. You cannot have that a part of your paradigm. You're part of your soul and your heart thinking that I'm always going to be the person who's like going back and forth. You haven't quit. You're not a quitter. And that's the story you tell yourself. Because when I look at Lizzie Turner, she's not a quitter. She's on this call right now. But I think it's easy when we're getting our own heads that we get so down on ourselves and we put so much pressure on ourselves and to be this like perfect person, and we get so defeated where it's like, I'm going to breathe belief into you, Turner, because I'm telling you, I'm so grateful you're on this call. And that's what you need to be encouraged by, right? Is a group of people, because what happens is when you surround yourself with people who want to be better, you start to become better. You know what? Tony Robbins doesn't hang out with mediocre people. He hangs out with billionaires. It's not about the money, but it's the mindset. Does that make sense? So if you genuinely want to get better in life, you need to make sure that you're working with people who want to get better. What better way to do that than get on these calls, right? So stop believing the story that you're telling yourself that you can't be successful. You'll never do this. You'll never be like her. Stop it. Cut it out. That's not serving you. What's serving you is working on yourself daily and not trying to be perfect and just trying to be relatable, okay? Last thing, everything is a Google search away. If you are resourceful, you are going to make your job as a coach so flippin' awesome. If you don't know how to run a challenge group, if you don't know how to expand your network, there is a thing called YouTube. And that is where I taught myself. I'm telling you what, there are some awesome resources. Go to my YouTube. It's all there. Go to the team page. Go ask. We have a resources page that will teach you everything. If you stop trying to know it all and you just start to take action, you're going to fail forward and you're going to figure it out. Does that make sense? Where you're like, how do I help people? How do I do this? I'm telling you, we have all of the resources in the world. You should not be guessing how to build a business. You should not be guessing how to hit Success Club. It's all there. You just have to be resourceful. So anytime you're like, I don't know how to do that on Instagram. Instead, go to YouTube and say, how do I make my text blah, 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 blah on Instagram? It is going to come up. And then when you learn that, guess what you should do? Go to the team page and be like, guys, this is what I taught myself today. It's so awesome. Maybe you knew this. I didn't, but I was resourceful. I will be more proud to see, even if it was on something that you felt like was like you should have known, I will be more impressed that you went and sought it out and then you shared it with the team. I'll be like, she's going to be successful. He's going to be successful because one, they don't keep the success to themselves when they learn something, and they're not just trying to take. They're giving, they're depositing, and they're also just freaking resourceful. I love it. It's amazing. Shout out to all of you who maybe March was like, not the best, and you're like getting into April and you're like game freaking on, right? You're in the game. You're not in that old limiting mindset, or maybe it was an awesome month, but it's a new month. It's a new day. And it's a time to crush it. So I'm so excited that you're on. Lauren Lundberg has been with me the longest out of anyone on this call, out of anyone on this team of Team Happy and Fit. She's been with me, and it's amazing. She stuck with me. She joined me, you guys, when I was a new Emerald coach who didn't know what she was doing, but just acted like she did. And Lauren was resourceful. We figured it out. We kind of just did it together. Her team they're 2 coaches away from being a 2-star team, 2-star qualifying team, you guys. That is huge. 2-star is like goals for everybody. That is a must you should want to do. The finances and the way you move your business, I'm telling you guys what, it takes time, but it's so worth it. So Lauren's been with me the longest. She's amazing. I can't wait to hear from her, but this is what I need you to do. 1, if you're on this call, like applauding you. I'm so excited you're spending your night with us. But 2, if you're inspired, please tell Lauren that after this. Please send her a message. Please show her some love. And then after that, whatever takeaway you have, you must go to your team, Team Happy and Fit, wherever, and you need to share your takeaway because someone may not have heard what you heard. Maybe someone wasn't on this call, or maybe they had a different takeaway than you did, and then they are so inspired by your takeaway. I'm telling you, when you live in this abundant mindset of giving, over serving, encouraging other people, I swear to you, those stupid limiting beliefs of I'm not good enough, she's better than me, I'm never going to do this, is going to start to disappear. Because 1, you're over serving and you're feeling good about that because you're not expecting anything in return. 2, you're encouraging the heck out of other people, and that feels good. That is what we stand for on Team Happy and Fit. Of course, I'm talking forever, and that was 12 whole minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. I'm going to give it over to Lauren Lundberg, and I cannot wait to hear her talk about her best practices. Right now, her and her team are going for top 10 in the entire network of 400,000 coaches. I hope she's not mad at me for just sharing that. And then 2, you guys, it's unreal what her Success Club numbers are, and don't justify it and say, well, I couldn't keep up with helping that many. She has systems where no one gets lost. She has systems that people are supported this entire time. So do not put limitations because it might take work to get there. Don't put anything in your way. Understand that if she can do it, you can do it too, and that's what she's going to tell you. Do not for 1 second think you can't do that or justify why you shouldn't. Because her and I did for a really long time that we shouldn't do that because that would be selfish, or this, and whatever crap we thought, whatever. That's not how we feel anymore. So Lauren, take it away. So excited you're here.
Thanks, Julianne. I'm so excited to share with you tonight. And I think that I have a new fire and just a new energy because just listening to Julianne talk about all of that, like, it just makes me think of my entire journey as a coach. I've been coaching for 3 years, and I swear I have been at the top. I've been at the bottom, like in terms of just as potential. I remember when I first started coaching, I got on every single Zoom. And the reason for that was because I wanted people to know who I was. And I know that sounds so silly, but that was my biggest goal. Like, I saw all of these people on a Zoom and I'm like, I want them to know who I am. Not like she's at the top, but like, I just wanted them to know my name. I wanted them to recognize me if they ran into me at Summit. And it's crazy just by plugging into these Zooms, how my mindset started to change. My goals started to change. I started coaching during my first year of teaching, and I had no intentions at all of leaving teaching. But if you've been around a teacher, or you are a teacher, or you know someone who started teaching, the average teaching rate is 3 years. It's such a stressful job. I truly feel like they just don't prepare you for the type of job that it is, and you do not get paid what you deserve for the hours that you put in, for the stress that you get from dealing with parents, from going the extra mile for kids with no extra thanks. And that's not what it's about. But I love that for coaching, that I get to surround myself with happy people who are always wanting to do more. They're always reaching for bigger goals, and they're just not complacent, and they want to be around happier people. They themselves want to be happier. And just from being on these calls and plugging into the team, I realized there was more to life than my teaching job. And I just decided that I wanted more. So when I started, I actually hit Success Starters. And if you don't know what Success Starters is, it means that you hit Success Club your first 3 months. And all I kept hearing from people when I started was, oh my gosh, you have so much potential. And I remember when I got to month 3, and I was sitting there thinking, okay, well, I've hit these 3, 6, 9 people that I've helped. I don't know who I'm going to help next. And all of a sudden, I started getting in my head. And from then on out, I would hit Success Club some months, and I wouldn't the next month. And the reason for that is because I was targeting people. I'd be like, oh, this person expressed interest to me. And I would sit there and I would wait. I would wait for that person to order when they told me 3 months ago they were going to order, instead of building new relationships, building new connections. And so I want you to hear that, because I was so inconsistent with Success Club, because I was limiting myself from people who just weren't ready yet. It's not that they it's not that they wanted to let me down. They just weren't mentally prepared for this. So if that is you right now, if you are someone who is targeting people and saying, I know who I'm going to reach out to next month, and that's how I'm going to hit Success Club, and then the next thing you know, they don't order and you don't hit Success Club, I want you to stop with that mindset right now. Okay? And instead, here's what you need to do. You need to have belief in yourself and belief in what you're doing. And first off, walk the walk every single day. This business is going to change all the time, but the one thing that's going to stay the same is that you are going to walk the walk and share your journey. That is number one, most important thing in this journey. And I will tell you, since November, I saw a shift in my business, and I'm going to go into detail of what I've noticed, of things I'm doing, things I changed. But starting in November, I hit Success Club 22, December, Success Club 6, kind of dipped down a little bit. Every month in 2018, I've hit Success Club 20 or higher, okay? Because I've tweaked things. Here are some things that I'm doing. First thing I want to know right now, go ahead and comment in the chat, what types of posts move the needle the most in your business? What do you see the most engagement from, and the things that get you most excited? Honest ones. Transformation. Yes. Yep. You guys are nailing it. Okay. Now, next question. How many transformation photos are you posting? How often are you posting those? Julianne just shared one of my really big, scary goal it's super scary to have her announce that out loud, because I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to think like, oh my gosh, Lauren can't hit that. Why is she going for that? But you know what? Why not? Why not go for it? If you feel like you can do it, freaking go for it. So you know what I've been doing? I've been watching coaches who are in the top 10. I watched a girl who hit elite for the first time this last year. She's ranked number 7 right now. And I looked at her profile. I swear every 4th picture is some type of transformation picture. That's why she's getting traction. So if you want to move your business forward, look at what the people are doing of where you want to be and start doing what they're doing. So you have to have transformation pictures. Now, here's what I'm noticing, and here's what I'm doing too. The transformation pictures, sometimes it's from the start of the program you're doing now, or you're doing this day 1 to day now. Okay. Sometimes it's a face picture, like, oh my gosh, just look at the difference. And sometimes it might just be like confidence. Sometimes it might be from the very start of your journey or several years ago to now. Kenzie's like giving me high fives over there, if you can hear. Okay. So it doesn't have to be the same transformation picture. And I want you to understand that your story is so important. And even though you feel like you just stated it, people need to hear it over and over again. And you can change it up and make it sound different every single time. But here's what I notice when people reach out to me. They say, I've been watching you do this program for so long. I've been watching you and I'm finally ready to do this. So it's important that when they are feeling ready, that you are automatically in their mind and they know that they can trust and reach out to you. So, and also if you post a transformation picture, make sure that you have a call to action. Make sure you let people know that I run support groups. I run accountability groups. I'm looking to help more people. I want people to feel as good as I feel right now. Okay, other tips. So, okay, and here's another thing. I have a coach on my team, Zoe McIntyre. If you follow her, her transformation is incredible. She posts her transformation Tuesday, every week. She hits Success Club every month. And her conversations are all based on those transformation photos. So, and like I said, some of them have been watching for her for a while, but all of her conversations start from that transformation picture. And the first thing that she asks them when they ask for help is, what do you have for breakfast? Such an easy question to ask. And I love this because it's such an easy transition. Half the people that she's talking to are spending $5 or $6 at a gas station for sugary things that aren't fueling their body for the rest of the day. So instantly she's able to show them the value and how it's going to help them. You can share transformations in your stories, and do polls based on your transformations. So these are just different things I've been doing. I have kind of come up with a little bit of a system with this. So every Monday I do follow-ups. So everyone that I have reached out to, sent messages to, I follow up with everyone on Monday, just because it's easier for me to do it all on one day than adding it to my ongoing to-do list every single day. On Tuesday, I'll do a transformation picture. But you also notice that I will do transformation pictures more often throughout the week as well. And Wednesdays, I've been starting to do a poll asking, are you ready? And if you're someone who fears rejection, you can always put 2 positive answers on there. You can say, I've asked before if people want to do the 80-day group, or if they want me to pair them with a different program. I've asked if they're ready or if they're interested in learning more. So you can kind of pair 2 different positives, and that just makes it's so easy to look at who commented on there, who posted it on your story. Yes, sorry. And then it's really easy to reach out to those people and start conversations. I am really, really big on Instagram. So when I'm talking about all of these things, just assume Instagram. I still will sometimes share for Facebook, but I don't get a ton of traction on Facebook. Instagram is kind of my jam, and I like it better because I can reach more people that fit my avatar. So another thing that I have really started doing this year is connecting with my followers. I recently did a post where I shared my story in about 3 or 4 paragraphs. And you probably have more than one story. My stories are different. I have a fitness story. I have my story about how into preterm labor. I have my IVF story, infertility story. So you have different things that you probably can share that are part of your story. But I shared my story about how I went into preterm labor with our twins. And at the end, I asked people, you know, we went through infertility. We did IVF, and we had our twins at 23 weeks. Please introduce yourself, you know, like, because I'm reaching preemies, I'm reaching infertility, I'm reaching all of these different people. I had over 100 people comment on this. So and I'm still commenting back to all of these people. And that's the thing. Don't just let those comments sit there. They're connecting with you for a reason. And so what I've been doing, all of those people, they're part of my avatar. So if they commented, I follow them back and I respond to them. So it's just a really great way to build trust, to build connection with those people. If you have a small following right now and you're wanting to connect with more people, like you do the add 5 people on your Instagram, or start follow 5, like 5 of their photos, and comment on 1 of their photos. And just think, like, if you do that consistently every single day, how much your following can grow over the next year. And same thing with commenting back to people. Okay, so I'm going to kind of compare this year to last year, because I feel like last year it was really starting to pick things up, but things they weren't quite where I am now. So last year, we had Blake and Kenzie in February, and I reached this point where I was like, you know, Kenzie was in the NICU for 139 days, and I knew I couldn't go back to work. I was like, she wasn't allowed to go to daycare for her first 2 years. And so now all of a sudden, I knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but now I had that burning why inside of me, and I knew I had to make it happen. I couldn't sit on it any longer, and I just had to take action. So I started recruiting like crazy. I knew that my income would build if my team was building. But here's what was wrong. I was recruiting like crazy, and I was getting all of these coaches enrolled, but they didn't have the same passion for it that I did. They couldn't find consistency in their workouts. They were still really struggling, and I wasn't in a place where I could truly help them through that and recognize that at the time. And I would say now I probably only have 2 or 3 of those coaches left. They're not here anymore. So, but here's the cool thing. I listened to a Rob Dial call, I can't even remember when, way back in the day, and it was called Ready, Fire, Aim. And I look at last year, and that's what I did. I just was ready. I ran for it, and now I'm adjusting things. So last year was not hurt at all. I still made a lot of progress. I still did a lot of great things, but now my focus is on challengers. My focus is on helping people and truly building a community within my challenge. And just finding my groove in things. I'm a blue. I am not a planner. And for the longest time, like Julianne said, I was her first coach. I was surrounded by so many reds on this team. Like it was, I love you, Reds. You like keep me in line. I totally love you guys, but I am not naturally a planner. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of my pants. I am like it's Friday. Hey, let's do a book club like on Monday. Are you guys cool? Like that's me. I don't like, no, I have no idea what's happening in 2 weeks from now. Actually, I do. I'm going to be on vacation. But besides that, nothing is planned. But so I had to tweak some things, and I really had to figure this out myself. I found it to be so stressful to plan monthly challenge groups. And for a while last year, I stopped doing them. And that's why my focus was on recruiting coaches. So here's my solution. I'm now doing ongoing challenge groups. I have one accountability group. I add those people, when people enroll, I add them to that group. We do book clubs, and typically I'll ask people like a week in advance, hey, do you guys want to do a book club? This is the book we're going to get. We're starting next week. Like, that is my planning. But I'm building so much community in there, and I'm always having something to invite to, though. You need to recognize that. Like, I'm not flying by the seat of my pants. I'm always inviting to 80-day obsession, or I'm inviting to finding your soulmate workout. Because here's the thing. I was finding that the people who were really in my groups and really loving it, if I was doing a 21-day group, those people were really struggling on those 7 days off. So I decided I would keep it open all year long, and they're investing for that full year anyways. So, hey, you invested in this, you're in this group, and I'm truly building a community, and I'm starting to notice that the people in this group are starting to follow each other on Instagram. I remember this when I started coaching Morgan Brill. For the longest time, she was a challenger, and I remember, I'm pretty sure we became Facebook friends before she was even a coach. And like, that's how you build community, and I didn't realize it at the time. So another thing that's super cool about doing it this way is they see you leading from the front, and eventually they start commenting on each other's stuff because they're starting to feel comfortable with each other. This last week, I talked to my Instagram stories about how Kenzie is starting a steroid for her seizures. And one of my challengers emailed me and said that her son has seizures and she totally gets it, and she would love to, talk to me if I needed to talk to someone. And I was like, how cool is that? It's not just me coaching her, like, we're truly building a friendship. And I just think that that's so important. Like, I didn't have that before. And for me, this all started to take off when I went to Vegas for the Diamond Retreat. Trina was talking about, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Having a big idea. And so something just hit me, and I was like, yo-yo dieting. Like, this is something I struggled with for so long. Like, I just need to run with this. I need to help people overcome yo-yo dieting. And so that's when I started like sharing, really going back in the day and really talking about where I struggled and how I overcame it, and just planned a group based on that. That was before I decided to like fully commit to a year group. But it's so important to have something that excites you. If this is just something redundant in your day, it's not going to be very fun for you to do this. So find some way to find passion in this and find the fun in it, and it just will make it so much easier for you to find traction and to just run with things. Let's see here. Oh, I'm also starting a weekly call with my group. So, or with my accountability group. I'm so excited to see how it goes. And in that group, I'm going to start talking about coaching at the end of every call. So, and just kind of make it like an easier transition for them to feel comfortable with it. So think about this. Like, I think now I have about 60 to 70 people in that group. And I'm confident that if I give them the support that they need, they're going to become coaches when they're ready. So, and then I was just going to say too that I have 2 coaches who came from my challenge groups this last year, and they just started this year. One of them started last month, and she hit Success Club last month, and she's at SC2 already this month. My other coach, Siobhan, started in my challenge groups. She actually joined me last year. I had no idea who she was. It was when I was in my recruiting phase. She quit and then randomly signed up in January and is now in my group. And she's been hitting Success Clubs consistently too. So it just shows, like, if you help people get results and you're there to support them, and you truly are leading from the front, they're going to start duplicating what you're doing. And I just noticed, like, those new coaches who are starting, their posts they're not overcomplicating them. I don't know if you guys listened to last week's national wake up call. I absolutely loved what she said about, like, I didn't even realize you could overcomplicate this. So make it seem really easy for your coaches and remind yourself that this is really easy. You're just doing your workout program, you're sharing it, and you're just inviting people, sharing your transformation along the way. So, lastly, I just want to say, lead from the front, put your head down, do the work. I think it's really easy in this business, and I've been here before, where you get so excited about how far you've come and you turn around and you're like, team, catch up with me. I want you to get where I'm at. And then all of a sudden the rest of the stuff that you were doing completely stops. And so what I've noticed this year, like Julianne said, I'm 2 coaches away from becoming a 2-star team, 2-star qualifying team. And it would be really easy to sit there and wait to become 2-star. Great things happen when you become 2-star. You get to open a second business center and things really start to shift. But what I've been doing instead is just putting my head down and getting to work. And I remember a few months ago, I was talking to Julianne, and I knew 5-star was in reach for me, but I didn't see 10-star because I have all of my coaches stacked on one leg and I have almost all discount coaches on the other. And I was like, I don't see how 10-star is going to happen. But from the last couple of months, putting my head down and working, and just, I'm not waiting, I'm just going to keep working, I can now see 10-star as a possibility just because I kept going. So don't make that mistake. Just keep running and ask people to run with you. Yeah, I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to help you with a couple that were there. But you guys, I just have to say this. Sometimes it can feel really intimidating when someone is really confident about where they're going, because people, when you are used to average thinking, Lauren, we've been doing a weekly call in our challenge group too, and it's been so good. And today was awesome. It was like really great dialogue. And we were just talking about, like, it is so hard to feel uncomfortable sometimes, where you just want to go back to, like, playing it safe and not dreaming big and doing all this stuff. And you guys, I've seen Lauren grow from day one. She showed up. She just started sharing her journey. She believed in Beachbody before I even did, because she had done Shalene workouts before. And then she became a coach, which made so much sense because she was doing the programs before even knowing that this was a thing. And she started sharing her journey from day one because it transformed her own life. So it's easy to talk about with such confidence when you have such belief for what it's done for you. But you also need to know this. Lauren, as I did too, went like did really awesome, and then was kind of just going all these directions. And I remember Lauren used to be so afraid of sharing her goals because of worrying about thinking like she's selfish, or she was so concerned about other people. And then there was a point where she got such a big, deep why with her family of I have no other choice, but I have to stay home with my daughter. And she stopped worrying about what other people are doing, because I taught her, I said, Lauren, if your heart is in the right place where you genuinely want to help people, because Lauren's philosophy is this, just as it is mine, that you never feel more success. The most success you ever feel is watching other people become successful. And that is the trickle effect with Beachbody. That is what happens with this. None of you would be on this call if I didn't say yes, if Lauren didn't say yes, if Kara didn't say yes, right? If Amanda didn't say yes, some of you would not be here. And this has transformed our lives so much. But to see Lauren's growth over the last 3 years to what unshakable belief she has where she can talk so bluntly about like, yeah, we're going to be a 10-star team, where I think coaches are afraid to do that because they're so afraid of failing. They're so afraid of like, maybe you're a brand new coach and you're like, I don't even freaking know what any of this means. Where it's like, neither did I, neither did she, but we just put our head down, shared our story, got results, helped other people get results, found such an unshakable belief in helping other people become fit in every area of their life. And the coolest thing is, with this business, you work on yourself, work on your health, give yourself a freaking raise. You literally get to build a business off of becoming the best version of yourself and helping someone else do the same thing. And also, I think that this community is something that everybody needs. Not everyone's ready for it, but this team, it's incredible. Okay, I'm just proud of you. That was my long-winded, proud
And
talk.
I'll add on to that too with sharing your goals with your team. I was terrified to do it. I didn't want to put pressure on anyone else, but here's what I've noticed. Other people are taking on that same mindset, and it's so much more fun to rally together rather than like keep your goal to yourself. So build that camaraderie with your team and just be open about it.
Yeah, she said that to me. She's like, I'm so nervous. I was like, go update your team. Go. I would just tell them, like, go up. She's like, I just updated them yesterday. I was like, yeah, but you have a new update. She's like, well, I don't want to push them. And I'm like, dude, we went elite 2 years in a row. Like, do you think I was pushing you? And she's like, no, I just didn't want to let you down. I was like, you weren't going to let me down. I did the same thing. Go do it. And she's like, oh, okay. And she did. And then it's really cool to see the belief that her team has gotten and the confidence that they have where they're literally crushing it. A question. Maddie said, when it comes to transformation stories, or it doesn't have to be stories on Instagram stories, but just in a post, how do you create content that is not redundant? So how do you think of different ways of sharing your transformation that's, because you share it so often, how do you make it a little bit different each time?
Great question. So sometimes I'll share my story, but I think it's crazy because like sometimes it's within this last year, and it's thinking about how hard this last year was, and finding the time to work out, or I'm constantly trying to think of different objections that people give me and how I overcame that objection. I think that's a really great way to share those. I also think something short and sweet to the point, like something motivating, like, hey, this happened in 9 months. You can either let that time pass or you can join me. Something like that. Like sometimes I'll even get on Pinterest just to look up a quick motivational quote, take what I like from it and just go with it. It doesn't always have to be this long drawn out post. People are very inspired by just the picture. So, but just make sure you have like some type of thing at the bottom that's like, that lets them know that you're inviting them to join you somehow.
Like message me for more info, or let's get started now, like a call to action. And also, Maddie, too, I think just like stop, drop, and selfie. Who were you 10 days before that selfie? Like, what were you struggling with? I think if you're a brand new coach, like you became a coach for a reason, so there's some sort of transformation in there. Like, even if you don't have a physical transformation, like for me, when I became a coach, I decided to not be on the couch anymore. I chose to not be the couch dweller anymore by becoming a coach, even though I was still 35 pounds heavier. Does that make sense? Where literally, like, are you transforming in the sense of seeing a vision? This is another thing too, you guys, with transformation of like getting fit in every area of your life. Lindsay Matway is one of the most successful coaches in Beachbody. And she said that she invited one of her top coaches who is in the Millionaire Club now. And when she was making $80 a week, but she knew where she was going. And like, that's how she, like when she talked to that coach, she's like, I have such a big vision. I'm going to be massively successful. And I want you to be massively successful with me. That's how I was like, and I am still, where I'm like, I know where I'm going. There's no doubt about that. So also, like, who were you? Where are you now? And where are you going? And how are you starting to transform? It might be even something simple like Morgan Schaefer went on vacation and stuck to her 80-day plan. And literally when she asked for advice on her social media, everyone told her to cheat on it. And she stuck it out. She just like proved that she could go out of the state and go travel on vacation and stick with her plan. And so that's a transformation. Where when was on vacation did you first of all, probably weren't working out or even eating clean, but like that's a transformation, right? Maybe it's you drink more water than you do now. Maybe you sleep better. Maybe you don't hit snooze. That's a transformation, you guys. If you wake up to your alarm and you don't press snooze on life every single day. Maybe you don't watch as much Netflix every day. That's a transformation. Don't underestimate what your transformations are. You just have to remember how you used to feel. Did you used to check the scale 3 times a day? I did. Did you used to like every day be like, I'm not like, I'm worthless? Like, did you have those feelings? But now do you feel more pep in your step? Do you feel like this community gave you friends again? Do you feel like where are you growing in your life? Like, do you feel like there's more to life than this or that? Share that stuff. That is such a powerful transformation. Nikki Touch, if you guys do not follow Nikki Touch, you need to. She is the champion of social media, 1, but 2, she is so good and consistent with sharing transformations of so many other coaches on our team. Like faithfully. It's amazing. Like I just love following her because she's not just sharing her. She's also sharing the success of other people, the people that she's helped, the people she surrounds herself with. So also you guys, that you need to understand the power in that and sharing the success of other people that you know, because you tag them, right? Lauren, this is from Morgan. Can you please share with us your ongoing group? What does that look like as far as content? So if you're doing a book club and then your book club's done, what do you post in there every day? Do you schedule a post in there? Do you have any kind of content, or is it just running on its own? What does that look like?
So I basically have it set up as an accountability group, but I have a couple of things that I do on a regular basis. I do a weekly check-in. I feel like I get more from people by posting check-ins less frequently. I know that sounds crazy, like everyone's used to doing a check-in every single day, but I swear people love reflecting on the week as a whole. And then they love the goal setting from that. Like I'll do a check-in on Sundays. They'll reflect on their week and then they will say what their goals are. And then I always ask, what was a non-scale victory that you had this week? And then I always ask if they need any additional support on anything. And it's insane because I feel like I'm doing less work right now than when I was planning content for every single day. But every single person who checks in there, if they don't have something that they need extra support with, they thank me for the support of this group and just are so amazed of how the community is helping them. But I have started doing, like I said, I'll do a Transformation Tuesday in there. So if they're doing a program, think about that. Like, do you look forward to Transformation Tuesday? Do you like taking that picture and seeing your progress? I want my future coaches in that challenge group to feel that way. I want them to start taking pictures and wanting to see that progress. So I always do a Transformation Tuesday. Currently, a lot of people are wanting to do or needing help with recipes. And so I haven't decided what day of the week yet. We're still kind of, and the cool thing is they're helping me figure out the best way to run this group. They're kind of giving me feedback on what they want. They want recipe ideas. So I'm thinking once a week, choose a recipe that you want to try and tell us how it was. So just everyone having a check-in for that. Food Friday. Oh, that's a great idea, Jill. I've also done taking, those in the Team Beachbody podcast, they have those stories of people telling about their journey. I haven't done this yet, but I have heard of people posting that on their groups. Those are great things to post maybe once a week. I was kind of thinking like a success story Saturday or something like that. So again, not doing a ton of content, but like once a week I'll do a video somehow encouraging or doing something like that. So I feel like it just takes the pressure off. I'm not a content person. When I have something that inspires me, I'll share it. But I'm not good at like, I need something every single day of this next month or every day for this next year.
Yeah. And I think too, you guys, like something you need to understand is that you need to be the best challenger in your group. And today when we met on the call, I was like, I'm about to crush all of you in our water challenge today. I'm going to be the best one. And so it's like, I'm being my best challenger in my challenge group. I think a lot of coaches, Lauren, you probably would agree with me, that they're so worried that they won't have a lot of people in their group, or, they're so worried about that and so focused on the content. The content doesn't move your groups, you guys, you do. Your energy, something that I do is I send a weekly email out to my challengers through Streak every single week on Sunday, and simply did this actually yesterday was I sent them my fight song, the Unstoppable song. I sent them a recipe I'm excited to try. I sent them a motivational quote, and then I sent them like, hey, you are powerful, you're amazing, like make sure you count your small wins. Like this isn't about being perfect. It was a simple email that I sent them. And that's another way of like checking in with them. Lauren just does a really, really great job of celebrating her people. She does a really great job of being intentional with her people because she truly cares about helping them transform. So again, what works for Lauren may not work for you, but you have to understand, if you were to take what Lauren's doing and implement it without implementing your heart in it, it's not going to work for you. Just as much as a lot of coaches like to see what happens in my challenge groups and our challenge groups, which is fine. You can totally take the content and copy and paste it, but it's going to be different if you're not using your heart in it. Does that make sense? You are the mover. You are the creator. You are the person that brings massive momentum and energy, and how you walk the walk yourself, and how you become intentional with the people that you're helping, if that makes sense. I think that's all of the questions that we see. You have to be a good challenger in order to help others walk the walk. Yep, exactly. Anyone else have any last questions for Lauren? She's amazing. If you haven't followed her on Instagram, please do for inspiration. I think something that could be really cool, and Lauren's really good at making like efficient documents. You guys, she just implements what she hears. Like she just does. Like if I'm like, hey Lauren, do this, or she's like, I learned this on a video. She takes one takeaway from a call, implements it, tweaks it, does it. She shares everything. And she always jokes that she had to go to Las Vegas to hear about canned responses, because I had been talking about it on Zooms before for her to actually implement it. But it's like she when she implements it, it changes her business. So for you and what you're hearing, you need to take one thing that Lauren's doing, because what Lauren's doing is working. It's working. Lauren, can you just tell us some successes that you've had in your business? I think coaches, I think what I respect most about our team is that we're really transparent. We don't have secrets, and we're really honest because we know where our hearts are coming from. Could you share some like successes that you've had? I would even say financially, because I think sometimes we like play this guessing game of what's possible, but I think it's really important for coaches to hear, because you are so, I understand because we talk about it, but I think coaches need to hear what that they can do in their life with this.
Right, for sure. So within this last year, I ended up resigning from my teaching position. And when I resigned, I was nervous. I was at the time making an additional $1,000 a month, probably a little bit more by the time I actually resigned. I was probably getting closer to $2,000 a month. But at that point, we were kind of used to 3 incomes, counting Beachbody as an income. And so when I gave that up, things definitely got a lot harder. But since November, things have definitely started to pick up. I think it was in January, I got my first $1,000 in 1 week paycheck. And since then, I've had at least 1 week in each month that I've earned $1,000 in a week. So, and the crazy thing is I was just calculating it out, and I have now matched my teaching salary and am making up for that $1,000 a month that I was making. So I'm back where I was when Beachbody was a supplemental income for our family. So
that gives me so many goosebumps because this is what happens, you guys. If you continue to work on yourself, if you continue to work on yourself and you continue to share that story, you have to understand this business is going to have peaks and lows. It's inevitable. You're going to be like on your game and then you're going to get hit with something. But you just have to like keep going. That's a business. Like that's just how it goes. But it's a snowball effect in this business. It's so crazy. If you wash, rinse, repeat, if you work on yourself, you share your journey, you help someone else work on themselves, and then you teach them how to help other people work on themselves. It's the snowball effect where, first of all, everyone gets fit, right? And then everyone has confidence. You are surrounded by amazing people who are just like on fire for life. And then what's really cool is I think about this. If I were too scared to have shared my story, growth, mentored, like Lauren wouldn't be able to be doing this. So every time I show up, I think about the coach who could be making $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week, $500 a week, $80 a week. I think about how, and I say this all the time, where it's like, it's my obligation to show up to give this gift to someone else. And y'all, when Lauren and I were working together, I wasn't making what I'm making now. I was just had a vision and I just was failing forward. So even if you're not making what you want to make, it's important that you need to hear what's possible of what you can make. But what's really cool about this is that you will feel 10 times more successful in this when you make and help other people and see them be more successful. Like when you can watch other coaches like change their financial future, when you can see them drop weight that has been burdening them, when you can see their relationships improve, like it's awesome when that all happens to you. But when you can literally watch a ton of people transform their whole life and get fit in every area of life, it is the most powerful feeling to be a part of. And that's what I think about when I'm feeling stuck, when I'm being too hard on myself, when I am struggling. I always think about them. I always think about her. How can I show up for her today? Otherwise, she's going to miss out. Does that make sense? Lauren, any last things you want to share with us? You're amazing, and I am so proud of you. It's just so cool to see and have watched your journey over these last few years.
Thank you. I just want to let you guys know, like, I've been through it all. I've been in the ups and the downs of this business, and it just starts with the belief, and it just starts with deciding that you are going to make it happen and just doing it.